Thursday night. It is January the 18th, 2024 on a cool, brisk Thursday night, coming to you live and in color right here. Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road Sports Show. Do not adjust your television set. Do not change anything. You are at the right place at the right time for the truth and nothing but the truth. Coming to you live Thursday night, January 18th, 2024. It's 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, and 6 p.m. Copper Mountain, Colorado time. And you are watching Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road Sports Show. How about this? If you're watching on Facebook, do us a big favor. Reach over and hit the like button and hit the share button. Like button, share button. Share our broadcast on your Facebook page. Let everybody know that you're a fan of Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road Sports Show. Got a great show lined up for you tonight. Have no idea what we're going to do, what we're going to talk about, but we're going to have a good time anyway, just being here, visiting with one another, and we are glad that you have chosen to invite us into your home, your automobile, your car, your airplane, your boat, your motorcycle, your moped, your bicycle, wherever you might be watching. We just want to say thank you for tuning us in on Thursday Night Live here. Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road Sports Show coming to you live tonight from our studio at Enterprise, Georgia, our studio in Thompsontown, Georgia, our studio at 100% Flamingo Boulevard, Georgia, and our studio at turn number 3 at the old Rocket Speedway, Dothan, Alabama. All across the United States of America and in foreign countries where it is legal and illegal for us to broadcast, we are coming to you live. All 57 states, 5 foreign countries, 4 sunken islands, and coming to you live tonight in our good place, the great state of Baker County, Georgia. And ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the truth and nothing but the truth. But our disclaimer is this: if you do not subscribe to Common Sense Thinking, you might want to turn the computer off, turn the channel over to Oprah Winfrey, turn it to Jerry Springer, watch reruns of the Kardashians, because this program is probably not going to be for you and you will find it offensive. Because it's time for Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road Show. Boys, we're coming live tonight on the big screen. Live on the big screen. We're 107.4156 inches tonight. Edwards. We're live at Edwards. Edwards. Extra large eel skin undergarments for men, women, and other. Edwards. Edwards. Ear, hair, coloring, and ratting.
What?
Ear, hair, coloring, and ratting.
That's what I thought you said.
Ratting your hair.
I've seen some of you could rat.
Easy.
Edwards, eggshell repurposed toilet paper. Edwards, elongated colon reductions. And Edwards, elevated rear end surgeries and tattoos in El Dorinda, Georgia.
Hey, Edward, glad to have you with us, man. Man, appreciate you tuning in. I hope you got a lot of customers coming in.
That ain't the Edward that I know down in El Dorinda, is it?
No, it could be, though.
You reckon it could be John Edward?
John Edward.
I wondered about that. I didn't ask because I just had them to put us on the big screen. Elevated rear end surgeries and tattoos.
I mean, you want to get it jacked up.
Well, I think he's just being proper. They call it a butt lift, I think.
So you can set a platter of chicken wings on there. If you're at Ryan's Steakhouse, if you go to the corral, you be holding the plate and set you a plate back there and walk to the table with it. I've seen some that they already done been to Edwards because they had that red jacked up like
Is that on the left or the right, going or coming? I'm trying to figure out where that is, see if that's who I think it is.
It's kind of cattywampus to Jackie Grubbs' El Dorinda Auto Center.
It's back in there, yeah. back in that old El Dorado Road, I think that's what
Yeah,
that is.
yeah.
Fire Trap Road, or fire something road back in there.
It's these innovative people that make the world go round. I think you got a picture there, Marvin, of a grocery store over in the state of Mississippi. They happen to be a little ahead of us folks here in Alabama and in Georgia. They're trying out a new meat tenderizer and hamburger patty maker. There it is right there, neighbor. That's actually
That make your hamburger patties there.
okay. Well, that's a grocery store.
Y'all don't understand. That woman's hot and sweaty.
But she ain't gonna, but you ain't gonna get the COVID if you buy one of them hamburger patties. 'Cause you got that
That's what
mastic on.
thank you, Floyd.
Yeah.
Floyd's the only one in this group paying attention. That's exactly the message.
You don't get no COVID from that.
Floyd, that reminds me. That reminds me of Reverend Johnson in that air conditioning. You know what I'm talking
Yes, that's exactly right. Yeah. Yeah, BUT, TUB. BUT the size of a TUB.
You
That's
got
what that is right there.
you got
Yeah.
time to do that. Tell them about that story about Reverend
Yeah.
Johnson. We looked at that air conditioning rear end there.
Yeah, let's go on. Let's move on. Let me get my thoughts right on it. I got to get a picture in my mind, man.
Get your
Don't
mind
ambush
right.
me now, Marvin. Don't ambush me now. But
Well, let me ask you a question, Floyd.
Go ahead.
If that
Mind right,
picture right
Floyd.
there, if she was against get a hankering to go to flatulating, would that be what you call smoked meat?
Oh Lord have mercy. Yeah, the lady done got hot. She done got overhit. And I don't know. She may be applying for the job of the hamburger patty maker there at that store. Look like I got a cell phone though. And she may be calling 911.
No, that's a barbecue sandwich wrapped up in her hand there.
Oh, that's a sandwich wrapped up. I got you. Well, she got that towel on. She ain't gonna be sweated down. I can promise you now. And there ain't gonna be no gnats around it either. Yeah, but what that Mississippi?
Yeah.
It could have been Miller County.
Yeah.
What that be? Luther Nail? Would that be Luther?
Oh, have mercy, Lord have mercy. Hey, I mean, man, we've seen it all. Hey, y'all, all y'all folks in Martha's Vineyard, y'all get up off the floor now. Get up off the floor. Everything's fine. Get up and get you some breath, cause it's okay. We see that all the time down here in Southwest Georgia, Southeast Alabama. So
We ain't
don't faint on us.
nobody. We ain't making fun of nobody, but we just that's the truth.
That's it. That's it.
That's cheap air conditioning right there.
That's right.
Let's say.
Oh,
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Or him.
Oh.
Hey, Charlie, talking about pictures. Him was one that I saw. Now I know it's a little blurry because I had to blow it up there, but I seen your younger day there too. But who is that other guy?
Who do you think it is?
I don't have no clue. Is that Bob Armstrong?
That is one of the biggest moments in professional part of a angle we did. That was when Bob and I started the feud between each other. 1983. You notice Bob was he was the heel. He had a mustache.
Yeah, that's why I didn't recognize him hardly.
He not only slapped me, he slapped his own son on national television.
Hey, how did you recover from that? Or did you recover from that?
Let me tell you what, it got so hot on him at all the arenas. He said, "You got to slap me back." I said, "It don't make no sense for a 165-pound announcer to slap a 220-pound professional wrestler." But they were folks trying to kill Bob. They were pulling guns and knives and everything else on him. So
Wait a minute, because he slapped you?
Yes, sir. And
come on now.
We ended up bringing Ron Fuller back on the angle, and Ron had to come on TV, catch Bob from behind, and then I slapped him back where folks wouldn't try to kill him anymore. It was unreal. It was
bad.
It was
y'all created drama.
Yeah.
It was definite. Here's what made it so interesting. My first child was born on a Friday morning, the 13th of May. And we did the slap on the 14th day of May, and then we didn't plan it that way. It was just the way we worked up to it. So it was going to be interesting. We'd do the slap in the first segment of the show. I could go on out, go back to the hospital, be with the baby and the wife at the time. And before it was all said and done, there was folks National Guard folks from Ashford coming up to the maternity ward wanting to know where Bob Armstrong was. Did I know where he was? They were going to go whip his you-know-what.
Oh, man, please.
And the funniest thing that happened, on the day before we did the slap, Ann Varnum had announced it on the morning show that he had just been born at 7 o'clock that morning. John Williams was the news anchor at the time. John led the 6 o'clock news with it. And then they had it on FM 95 all day that I was a first-time father. And it just, when Bob slapped me the next day, it got off with folks bad.
Man, you can't do that.
And
you got a newborn.
I get a call from one of the assistant administrators at the hospital, and when the tape played back at 5:30 that afternoon, he says, "You got to do something." I said, "What?" He said, "There's so many calls coming into this hospital, it's jamming up the 792 circuit. You can't make a call at 792 anywhere." So I went to a payphone and got through to the station on a 793 number and told them to scroll across the screen, "Do not call the medical center. Charlie Platt and baby are fine." You know, just it turned into a major deal. It made a lot of money, I might say.
I understand. That's the purpose.
That's the purpose.
Yeah.
You reckon we might could do that to make a little money? One of us slap another one.
I don't know who gonna volunteer to do that.
Yeah, who's gonna volunteer to get the slap?
Who's gonna volunteer to slap?
I'll do the slapping. Who wants to slap?
We'll move on from that, Marty.
I better leave that alone.
You hold that rope. You don't hold out that rope.
Hold that road. Yeah. All right. We got a brand new sponsor tonight. Queasel, I want you to tell them about our new sponsor. Our official attorney for the Dirt Road Sports is now a sponsor, Shingler Law.
Man, let me tell y'all what. This is it. Billy Shingler, he is the lawyer of all lawyers. He went to law school and finished law school, and then he clerked. You know, you always hear these lawyers talk about who they clerked for. He clerked for the one and only Vincent Gambino in New York City. He was his chief #1 clerk. He got any kind of law coverage you want. It don't make no difference how big the case is. Billy, he can handle it. It don't matter what you got. There's 2 words that's automatically, the only 2 words in his vocabulary is not guilty. That's all he knows. He won't accept nothing less. If you get in any trouble, if it's a speeding ticket, if it's a DUI, if it's for slapping Charlie Platt, whatever it is, whatever the charge is, you give Billy a call at Shingler Law, and he will come and get you out of whatever it is. Let me tell you how good he is. I'm going to tell y'all something. Y'all all heard One Call, That's All. I know y'all heard of him. Billy Shingler is so good, he made One Call change his phone number. That's how good he is. Call him if you need him. 229-524-1225. Not guilty. Shingler Law. Give him a call.
Nothing but the truth.
Nothing but the truth.
Mention Charlie Platt, the Dirt Road Sports Show, and he might get you a discount.
Right. He'll buy you a Coca-Cola next time he sees you.
Yeah.
Well, tell them about our good folks at Sawega Meat Company on 27 in Colquitt.
Man, they right there doing business with that good meat. They got some good Georgia grown beef in there. They got good Georgia grown meat. They got good cured meat. They got them fresh steaks, them hand cut steaks, cut it any kind of thickness you want it. Filet, they cut you a filet. They cut you a ribeye. They cut you a New York strip. They sell you a whole loin if you want you a whole ribeye loin or a whole fillet loin. They'll sell you that whole loin in there. And I like what they do with the meat. When you go in there to buy you some steaks, they'll put that shrink wrap on that steak. And if you ain't gonna cook it, for 2 or 3 days, it'll stay fresh on you. They see after their meat, they proud of what the product that they sell in there. They got all kind of sauces in there. They got all kind of jellies and jams and syrup. Anything you want in there, you get you a sausage dog in there. Anytime you get hungry, go in there and get you some of that. Go in there and get you some of that good homemade jerky that they got. They sell that stuff. They sell it. It's so good. They sell it by the ounce in there. And Marvin, I'm scared to turn you loose in there with the jerky. I'd be scared to turn you loose in there. Well, that is some kind of. He gave me a sample the other day. He gave me a little sample. And man, I mean, that's some fine stuff. But they got good fresh meat in there, good sausage, good smoked sausage, good slice, thick slice, thin slice bacon, smoked pork chops, whatever you want in the meat line. If you want it right there, go. If you go in there and tell them you heard it on the Dirt Road Sports, Charlie Platt, and the Dirt Road Sports Show, they'll give you a 10% discount. Y'all go see them in that so we can meat company. It's unreal how good they're doing out there. Halfway between Colquitt and Blakely, Georgia, up on the hill. Y'all can't miss a big wooden building there with the signs all out front. Doing business. Local boys, local folks doing business. They know what to do.
The prime minister from Peachtree City went by there today and loaded up on his way back to Peachtree City. He took your recommendation and he whooped on in there and loaded up. And I know he got him some pork chops and whatever else and headed on back up there.
Well, that's good. He
on the way, right side the road.
Yeah. Wow! Folks up there ain't seen that. They ain't seen no meat like that. They don't get no meat like that up there.
No, you're right.
While we were on commercial break, I had a text from our resident funeral director, Emmanuel Shadowhair. He said he wanted everybody to know the reason that woman had to sit out on that cooler. She got overheated because of the mask that she was wearing.
That's exactly right. Suffocating. That's right.
Yeah. She wasn't getting enough air.
Hyperventilating. That'll do it. It'll knock you out. That'll knock you out.
Yep.
Emmanuel Shatter. He watches us all the time. He's one of our most. He's like an anniversary viewer.
Yep.
I got a question for you three, and some of these folks over here in Alabama done seen the news story on this. It was on Channel 4, and it's about everybody that used to watch my little TV show remembers that Jack Wingate was a big part of it. And I just had to wonder what Jack Wingate would say if he were still alive and the news story was they're trying to build a facility in Decatur County, Georgia to house 30,000 monkeys. Now, back when Jack introduced me to Decatur County, it was all about parts of Lake Seminole, tourist attraction, all the great food that is grown. In fact, Decatur County at one time was in the one of the top 10 counties in the country that grew. Now we're talking about just cotton and peanuts. We're talking about sweet corn. We're talking about carrots. We're talking about cucumbers. We're talking about good groceries that, whether it be Green Giant, Vlasic, or whoever the companies are, went out to folks all over the world. And now, last time I drove between Colquitt and Bainbridge, I saw a couple thousand acres of solar panels.
That's progress.
And now I'm hearing they want to build a facility on 200 acres that'll employ 200 folks that raises 30,000 monkeys. Well, I called my good buddy and his friend's big show friend is Dr. Perry Mobley, our resident vet that treats all of us, I said, Doc, got some good news for you. He said, what? I said, they're going to have a place over there in Bainbridge that's got 30,000 monkeys. So instead of having to work on these cows and horses and wrestle with them, you could go there and get your spot in the monkey veterinary side. Doc said, just tell them folks in Southwest Georgia they ain't got to worry about me working on the monkeys. Won't be none of that going on. But what they trying to do over there? Anybody know?
Well, I talked to a good friend of mine down there who was ex-police chief down there for 40 years. He had a big meeting down there night before last. I think they got an uproar down there. I think they got a
Yeah.
lot of pushback on that. Is that what you hear in Queasel
I
and
hear the
Marvin?
same thing that they hitting the city council and the county commissioners. They filling up the meeting rooms and ain't nobody for it. That's what I'm
Yeah.
What
hearing.
would what would happen if a tornado that we are accustomed to around here, and I think the word Michael might be on the three of y'all's lips. It is on mine, but not like it is on y'all. What if something come through like that and turned 30,000 monkeys loose in Decatur County, Georgia?
Well, I
Well,
mean,
now
that would create an economic opportunity. We could have a new series film, Tarzan remake.
You know, I've got a philosophy.
I want to
I
hear this.
don't want to be around or near anything that has a bowel evacuation in his hand and throws it at you.
You know what? Bo the monkey, who is infamous for Dr. Mobley treating him on the side of the road in Haleburg one day and ended up at Buds and Blossoms Nursery. Bo was a smart monkey. He had a deal with all the optometrists in Dothan. They furnished him with a case of bananas a week, I believe.
Uh,
Because if anybody wearing glasses got too close to the cage, Bo would grab the glasses. If they were plastic, he'd eat the plastic, spit out the metal, and then do exactly what Floyd said, have an evacuation and throw it at you while you
yeah,
cussing him for
they had
taking
one
the
up
glasses.
there. Yeah, they had one at the Albany Zoo up there. And folks, stupid people standing around the cage, and I'm standing back out there, back off the cage. I said, "Don't y'all get too close up there." And sure enough, I ain't went. Chunk it out. Oh man, they just faint. I said, I told y'all, stay back from the monkey cage. Get away
Ain't
from the monkey
Hey,
cage.
would they
didn't
ever?
Marvin cousin have one of them monkeys there?
Yeah. Oh, good. They
Yeah.
used to be one out there. Yeah, out there at that Babcock. They had one out there on the White Springs Road. His cousin had one. Had a monkey, egg throwing, dog riding monkey.
Yeah.
My,
So
my
they
buddy
would
Frog, my buddy Frog Wills was Marvin's cousin. They had him a egg house. Sugar Frog's daddy had an egg farm out there. They'd go out there, send Frog out there to pick eggs up. And he hated it. He hated it because that monkey'd be all up in the rafters up there. And he'd be done got him an armload of eggs. And Frog would come in and start throwing eggs at him. And he rode a dog. And Monkey had a big old cur dog, brittle dog that they had. And the monkey jump on the dog and ride the dog up there to Harry's house. That's brother Harry, if you will. And somebody come along there and run over the dog, kill the dog, and throw the monkey off out there, knocked him unconscious, throw him out there in the field. But Frog said he was glad to see that monkey leave. I think he run away or done something. Anyway,
And hey,
that's
that's a true story.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
true.
yeah.
pick that stuff up. What y'all talking about?
Yeah, John Edward he's known as a monkey. He's
Huh?
the monkey whisperer. John Edward is.
Yeah.
He can communicate with them monkeys.
Frog would not have wanted a job working at a monkey facility.
Frog would not have worked at the monkey farm. He would have been a good spokesman against the monkey farm. But you know that monkey farm down, you know what that's going to bring in there now? Y'all know you know who's going to come in there, don't you? The Peter folk.
They already there.
They're there. They're already there.
The
Oh,
protesters.
yeah, they there.
And that's some more of you. They be just like your pro-Palestinian protesters. They glue themselves to the wall and chain themselves up to the roads and all that kind of stuff. Y'all have to go how to deal with all that. But anyway, y'all take all that. It's y'all's business. Y'all run it down there in Decatur County. Y'all got the bull by the horn. Do what you want to do with it. But I don't want to be around no monkey. Period.
Y'all ought to put a monkey fence up across Miller Decatur County line somewhere.
That's a good idea.
Monkey
Good idea.
fence.
But you
Like
know,
we need
folks will come in there and sabotage that thing. You take them Peter folks, they'll come in there, slip in there in the middle of the night and cut the locks off them cages. They'll turn all them monkeys loose out there. They'll do it. I mean, they'll do anything. Anybody that'll do that.
If they do that, they're gonna find out how many ARs there are over there in Decatur County, Georgia.
Have you ever seen what they do like in New York? They'll take blood and throw it on women's fur coats
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That
in the
old
middle
people.
of the
They're crazy. But I don't want you attract radicals when you do stuff like that. I don't see the purpose of it anyway. But anyway, somebody's got some bright idea. Somebody. My theory is always follow the money. Follow the money.
There you go.
Who's going to benefit financially from this? That's just my simple way of looking at things.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. Hey, boys, we got a brand new sponsor tonight. Totally Loaded Nutrition on the square in Colquitt, Georgia. Right on the north side of the square. Totally Loaded Nutrition. It is a brand new nutrition club located on the square, and they have a variety of delicious menu options, including loaded teas, shakes, custom coffee, some great tasting coffee, and their products and program are recognized by the CDC as a lifestyle change program that is beneficial for weight loss and reducing the risks of type 2 diabetes. If you want to make a change and you want to get healthy, you can go by there. You can get you a tea. You can get you a shake. They got plain coffee, too. They got some great home brewed coffee there. And I promise you, you will not be disappointed. Right on the square entrance, right off the sidewalk there, right next to MJ's Apparel, I believe is the name of it, right next to it. Totally Loaded Nutrition, right on the square in Colquitt, Georgia. Stop by and visit them. I promise you, you will not regret it, especially if you want to lose some weight or you want to live a little bit more healthy lifestyle. Stop by and talk to them. They'll be glad to tell you how to do that. Big shout out tonight to our sponsor, Totally Loaded Nutrition on the square in Colquitt, Georgia. Charlie, tell them about our friends over in Troy, Alabama.
If this weather we got going down here ain't barbecue eating weather, they ain't never been no barbecue eating weather. Wouldn't anything be better? Ease on up to Troy tomorrow if you're up around that area. Or if you're down here, ease on up there to 231 and 3 Notch intersection. Get you some great barbecue from Outlaws Bussin' Barbecue. Try the ribs, the pulled pork, chicken quarters, and a list as long as this program of side dishes to go along with it. Some of the best coleslaw you'll ever eat. Great stew, and hey, get you a quart of that stew to go. Because it's going to be cold here the next couple of mornings. In the morning and not in the morning, but Saturday morning and Sunday morning, going to be real cold again, like in the mid-20s one morning, low 20s another morning. So get up there, get you some great barbecue, some great side dishes, get you a whole slab of ribs, a rib plate. They sell it to you about any way you might want to purchase it. Outlaws Bussin' Barbecue, the best in this area, located in Troy intersection of 231 and 3 Knott Street.
All right, guys, before we go to our trivia question, I know it's getting close to that. I got one for you. We got to talk about this one. This is this week. Y'all are aware of Floyd's friend, Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg.
Yeah, close friend, I might add, yes.
He is
I don't like him.
He is in charge of the Federal Aviation Administration, if you will. In the news this week, ready for this? The FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration, these are the people that handle all the air traffic control and the flights, the commercial flights in America, are recruiting workers with psychiatric problems in order to become more diverse.
All right, yay.
Well, he's a psycho. He's hiring people like him. He's mentally off. He's mentally ill. So that's what just hire a bunch of people like myself. Like I always say, surround yourself with like-minded people. That's who he's surrounding himself with, like-minded people, lunatics. He's deranged. So why not hire deranged people? But the only problem with that is they're controlling the air traffic. They're controlling the flights of the airplanes with hundreds of people on them that could crash at any moment and kill the whole plane load of them. But it does not matter. We got to virtue signal. We got to make sure that we have people that need to be in an insane asylum. We have them directing plane traffic. That's
here's here's what gets me. Okay, in diversity, I think about race, sex, socioeconomic status. You can even throw in the sexual preference or whatever if you want to. But psychotic individuals as air traffic controllers,
Well,
people that
that covers that bunch that you was talking about.
Let me tell you.
I mean, I'm sitting here and you're talking about people that are looking at planes as blips on the screen.
Do you?
And what if the person that's doing that has split personalities, and then all of a sudden they start talking to an imaginary person beside them?
I want to say this. Before Buttigieg or whatever his name is got involved, there was already problems with the FAA and air traffic controllers. Now, this is from personal experience. A good friend of Mr. Floyd B. Lloyd and myself, Mr. Eddie Garner, is one of the best pilots I've ever been in the air with, and I've flown in the co-pilot seat with him on more than one occasion. We were flying somewhere around going into Key West, Florida, and air traffic controller out of Miami had taken over, if you will. And his accent was so thick, you had to ask him 2 or 3 times what he just said. Now, that's one problem. Now, you say, well, you're making fun of somebody that don't speak good English. Yeah, because the international language for air traffic controller and pilots is, guess what?
English.
English.
Yes, sir.
So if you can't speak good English to start with, you don't need to be telling me to be at 28,000 feet and hopefully the guy that's at 25,000 understood what you said. But when you go to adding somebody that might have mental problems in on this deal, you're asking for a major disaster about every 2 or 3 hours.
Mm-hmm. It don't matter. They don't care. That's not the point. That's not the point. The ends justify the means.
One
There's
of
a total
the
breakdown. There's a total breakdown of morality and people with a moral compass. That's you don't fit in with the Biden administration. If you have any moral compass about you at all, any morality, you do not fit in with the Biden administration. They're totally against it because that concerns the nuclear family. And it concerns law-abiding citizens, and they are totally against that.
Exactly.
air traffic controllers and pilots, civilian and military, are supposed to be some of the best at the best as far as keeping their cool. I went to a training one time. It's been many years ago, and fire chief out of Phoenix, Arizona, was teaching the class, and he was talking about how to communicate when it's hitting the fan, how to communicate when it's all fixing to blow up. And he had a recording of, it's been several years ago, but there was a commercial airliner that was landing somewhere out in the Midwest, and they lost all their hydraulics. They didn't have any flaps, they didn't have a rudder, they didn't have anything. The only way they could turn the airplane or slow it down was with the throttle. And so he had about the last 15 minutes of that flight recorded between the pilot and the air traffic controller. And his point was, I want you to listen to their voices, listen to these pilots' voices and the air traffic controller. You will not hear any panic. And it would be just like us talking right now, right on up until the point they landed the aircraft. It landed, it broke in several pieces and several people got killed. I can't remember if the pilot got killed or not. I can't remember that, but I do remember. And so, here we were trained to listen to that. And after, he said, anytime you get a chance, he said, scan somewhere and listen to air traffic controllers and airline pilots and listen to how they do. And I do that occasionally. I remember what he says. And then they're going to put somebody in there that can't make a sentence. They ain't no way they can do it. And if you'll go back and look over the last 12 months, if you'd search the news, you'd be shocked to find out how many near misses we have already had under Floyd's buddy with the air traffic controller. I mean, he can't get them. He can't even get flights booked. How you gonna get them off the ground? He can't get the trains to run. He can't keep a train on the track. he can't push a car that can't go over 50 foot without having to plug it into a light socket. I mean, what good is he? What good is he? He ain't good for nothing. He ought to go to the house and take his president with him and move on back and let's get somebody in there and get this thing back like it ought to be.
There's something that is beginning to surface though of what you just said, Queez. I want to put 2 lines in here. Editorials yesterday, New York Post. They're seeing already. They're grooming Michelle Obama to take Crazy Joe's place. So
what I tell the 2 of y'all up top up there, the 2 up on the top of the train.
It's probably going to happen, and folks just get ready. Look, in all our years of doing professional wrestling, we couldn't book and come up with a scheme any better than what the Democratic Party is going to have to do. But they're going to do it because they all know now, old Joe, he ain't got it. He ain't going to have it. And Donald Trump will kill him in a general election. And they know that now.
In a fair general election.
Exactly.
In a fair one. He'd kill him. He'll slay him. But they already got to do something. They in the panic mode now. They've just about let this thing go too far. So it's going to be pretty quick. They're going to pull the trigger on they're going to pull the string on Prez there. He's going to have to go. He's going to have a.
And they might have done waited. They might have done waited too late. They might have dug the hole so deep that people want out, and Trump liable to go in there. They might have waited too late, but now they know she is the only person out there that can beat him.
That's
they
right.
know that.
Yep. There you go.
Yep.
And
they're not dumb. They're not dumb. No, they got a plan. They got a plan. Any dictators are not dumb. They have a plan. They stick to the plan, man. We gonna stick to we got a scheme, and they gonna stick to it, and that's what they do. That's what they're doing.
When it comes down to Crazy Joe going to interview on the phone with Floyd's favorite reverend, the Reverend Al Sharpton. I saw this on MSNBC. I asked him this and I asked him that. And even Al Sharpton was kind of leery about some of the answers he got from Crazy Joe.
Al's done got the memo. They don't all got the memo.
They all got the memo.
Obama's done sent out the memo to them. Yep. They all get it.
You're right. You're right.
They all get it same day, same time.
Don't be sleeping. Be ready when it comes to take action.
You're right.
That's my speech.
We'll find a way. If they want to go to court, we got a lawyer. The Dirt Road Boy, we'll turn our lawyer loose on them. That's got us a lawyer. He'll take on all of them.
That's right.
I'll tell you what, old Shagler's a good lawyer. He's a good lawyer. Because I don't have to deal with lawyers very much. They some good lawyers, and then they some just plain lazy. I'm gonna tell y'all the best lawyer ever has been. We talking about lawyers, Marvin. Talking about lawyers, right? Our new sponsor, he's a lawyer. He in Dawsonville, Georgia. But Mr. Peter Zach Gill. Bookie hired him one time. Bookie had got in some trouble. And I wrote it with Bookie. And I said, hey, but this was years ago. Peter Zach, he was strong. He walked into a room like this, and whoosh, all the oxygen went out of the room.
That's right.
I saw him one day in Albany Mall. He come into Albany Mall. He come walking in straight up, just straight. Had a pipe. He was smoking a pipe. Had a hunting jacket on, Had that hair, all that red hair, roach back like that. He come in. Everybody in there was on him, and I knew who he was. He didn't impress me because he come walking by. Bookie got him. Bookie, I seen Bookie years ago in Colquitt there. And Peter Zach done a lot of practicing down in Colquitt, Baker County, Mitchell County. That was some of his specialties. Doherty County. And Boogie had got it. I said, what's happening, Boogie? What's that? Tell you what, boy. Whew. The man, I've been in a tight spot. I said, what's wrong with you, Boogie? He said, that I got in some trouble. I said, yeah, I heard about it. I heard all about it. What Bookie had done, he had stole a truckload of hogs from Pete Cook out there. And He stole a load of hogs from Pete Cook and brought them up here to Mr. Arthur Kelly's stockyard, go sell them. And Mr. Arthur knowed whose hogs they was, because they had a mark on them, you know. They called Sheriff Tab. He come got Boogie loaded cuffs on him. He said, I did a fine spot there for it. He said, but my man, my lawyer, Peter Dack did say he got me out. I said, he got you out. I said, what happened, Boogie? Tell me about it. He said, well, he said, had me in jail. And he said, Peter Dack joined, and that he was talking to me. And he said, all right, now, Boogie, I want you to tell me the story. Tell me what happened. That Boogie said, well, see, I was told, I was running short on some money, and so I needed some money. And I know the Pete Cook had a bunch of hogs over there on the big drains. I went in there and I trapped me a bunch of hogs, and I took them up there to Mr. Arthur Kelly, and I tried to sell them up there. Mr. Arthur knowed whose hogs they were. They reported me to see tab. They locked me up. he said, Peter Zach said, Bookie, that's an interesting story. That's a great story. If you want to spend the next 5 years in the penitentiary. Now, let me tell you the real story.
This is how it happened.
This is how it happened.
That's kind of the way I turn to you. That's why I ain't scared of whatever we do.
Yeah.
Whatever we get
Remember
into,
that.
man, he
Yeah,
gonna strut in it.
remember that. That's a great story if you want to spend the next 10 years in prison. But
Oh, give a big shout out to our sponsor of the trivia time, Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road Sports Show, Southern Hissy Fits on the square, southwestern corner of the square. Embroidery, t-shirts, tumblers, gifts, Hissy scent candles, any of your custom embroidery work, take it by to them. They'll get it done. 109 West College Street, 229-726-4825. 229-726-4825. And the trivia question for this week, and the winner will receive a logoed car tag. Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road Sports Show. Logoed car tag, compliments of Southern Hissy Fits on the square in Colquitt, Georgia. All right, here's the trivia question. I need you to identify this music duo that I'm about to show you. This music duo. You got to name both of them. It's kind of like, this ain't horseshoes. We're not going to do the closest. I need you to name both of them and send me your name in the text to 229-254-5060. I'll put it on the screen in a minute. I want you to name this music duo right here. You got to name both of them. You cannot just name one. I need you to name both of them, of this music duo right here.
Is that the band, part of the band of your gospel group there, Marvin?
Part of what?
The band for your gospel group.
Could be.
I look like Marvin up there. I look like Marvin with that mandolin.
It does.
Don't that look like Marvin?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I got a winner already. You know who the winner is. The winner is none other. He was the first one. Had a good second one. Let me tell you what the second one was. The second one was Glenn Campbell and Keith Whitley. And that was close.
He does look a lot like old Glenn up there on the right-hand side. Okay.
Just had a real close one come in. Brian Pickle, Eugene Hornsby, and the Quasars.
Give him my tag.
Right there now. So, and that was real close. But none other than the mayor of Colquitt, who knows all of them. I should have known he would get this one. Ricky Skaggs and Keith Whitley. That was an early picture of Ricky Skaggs and Keith Whitley there.
Keith on the left, Ricky on the right, so everybody understands.
Yep. I really like that. Was a close one. Eugene Hornsby and the Quasars.
We need to give him a tag anyway. We want to get
that's kind of like an honorable mention right there.
Yeah.
So yeah. Now it wasn't Glenn Campbell.
No, you're wrong.
Not Glenn Campbell. It was Ricky Skaggs and Keith Whitley. And if you remember, Keith Whitley was married to Lori Morgan.
Right.
and he died in the early 90s,
Reckon
drug
why?
overdose.
Back in the day, he drunk himself to death. Alcohol.
Alcohol.
poisoning
He
was
drunk
the
himself to
official
death.
cause
I
of death.
turned him up.
Are you sure it was alcohol or was it Lori Morgan that
It might
killed
have
him?
been. It might.
Hey,
That
I know.
alcohol got it. She was off on tour. She wasn't in that.
I'm gonna tell y'all something y'all don't know about Lori Morgan. Did you know that none other than the sheriff of Miller County was Lori Morgan's bodyguard at the Richard Petty retirement concert in Atlanta, Georgia? Did you know that?
Uh-uh.
I tell you, I'm gonna tell y'all something
Yes,
else you didn't know. You guess where Laurie Morgan Laurie Morgan has been within 10 miles of where we are right now in Miller County, Georgia. You've been to Wayne Goocher's Cookhouse.
Sure
Lord,
enough.
Uh-uh.
where
I,
we eat, where we eat them
speak,
fish at that
speaking
time, Marvin?
speaking of Wayne
Lori
Goocher,
Laurie Morgan was there.
listen. Speaking of Goocher, he done signed in on here as in the pig land tonight. But that's a good point to bring up. Goocher, what happened to the cookhouse? I
Mhm.
had some of the best sides of suckerfish I ever had in my life there. And I thought that was, going to be a semi-annual thing, but it just somebody
That was a one and done deal. Yeah,
it was
Laurie
a
Morgan.
one and done.
Yeah, she's been right there.
Wow. Ooh,
Yeah.
man.
Hey man, we know all kind of folks. It ain't about what you know; it's who you know.
Who
Yeah,
you
you
know?
got that right.
We got bona fides. I promise you. We got prospects.
Yep. Floyd, tell him.
I was in there today. Marvin. I done a little promo deal in there. Y'all saw me on there. They got all kind. She got some of them good ribeye steaks in there. She got that fresh Kelly's sauce meat in there. Got that hoop cheese in there. Got all them fine shrimp. All them fine scallops, oysters, bagged oysters in the bucket oysters. She got that good salmon, mullet fish everywhere. You got what catfish, whatever you want. You go in there to Ziggy B Seafood. I got her to steam me a pound of them shrimp tonight. And I mean, me and Nadine sat down there and eat the whole thing. That is one easy way to fix you a meal now. Go in there and say, I want to steam me a pound of them shrimp there. And whatever kind you want them in the shell, out the shell, in the easy peel, ever how you want them. They're gonna be good every time she does it because she got that steamer dialed in. She knows what she's doing. Y'all go by and see Ziggy B Seafood Market right there on West Main Street, Colquitt, Georgia. Right there by that old big old Ford dealership, right behind the Hardee's restaurant there. Y'all go by there and see her. She'll fix you up with the seafood, bag of oysters or a bucket of oysters, whatever you want.
Please tell them about our friends at Phillips Auto and the Holstered 9.
It is absolutely the place to be in Colquitt, Georgia. I tell y'all every week when you go by there, the parking lot is full, and it is every day. That parking lot fills up. People are coming in there. All your automotive, your truck, your farming needs, they got it. Oil, greases, any kind of parts. They got tools. They got toolboxes. Anything that you need in the way of automotive, trucking, for your pickup trucks, for your farm, they got it. All kind of filters, great line of parts that they keep in stock. All kind of for those of y'all that like your car good and shiny, they got a good selection of car washes and waxes. Miss Key's got some great gifts down there for the ladies. Just anything that they might want, she can fix them up. They're the home of those world-renowned Floyd B. Lloyd pellet grills. They got several different flavors of those rabbit pellets that can go in them rabbit pellet grills. They are world renowned. Just put whatever you're gonna cook on and just turn them on and let it go. And then if you want a real experience, walk next door and just look when you walk in the door what they got. Look on any kind of long gun you might want. They got hanging on the wall. They got display cases full of most any kind of handgun that you could think about, ammunition, all kind of extra like clips. They got scopes. They got all the stuff you need. If you want to buy a rifle, they'll mount the scope on it for you. If you need it trued in, they'll do that. They anything you need in the way of guns, pistols, anything for your personal protection. Floyd's going to talk to you about that before we get off. He's going to remind you the Holstered 9 is the place to be. 27 South, right under those two beautiful American flags.
All right, guys, I got one more news item I want to throw to you before we get a little farther in the show. This one came out on January 16th. I need y'all to listen carefully to me on this one.
That's hard to listen to you carefully.
Go
Pope,
ahead.
Marvin.
Pope Francis. You with me so far?
Pope
Everybody
Francis.
knows who Pope is.
Oh, yeah.
Pope Francis said last week he believes in hell, but likes to think of it as empty because of God's great mercy.
Mm-hmm.
Woo! Boy, there's a pile gonna burn because of that statement.
Well,
You
there's
wanted to know our opinion? That ain't what the book says. The Pope needs to read the book, not his book, but the Word of God. Does the Word of God say that, Marvin?
Not
That
the
ain't
word
what
of
it
God
said.
I preach from.
I got Brother Keener Batchelor watching, Chris Adams, and some other folks that might could that just.
well,
If you're Catholic, you need to read the Bible. Don't read the Pope. Go ahead.
here's God, his business ain't to put you in hell. That's your business. You the one that you put yourself in hell because you see you got a choice. You got a choice to follow the truth or you can follow a lie. But here's the thing. See, the truth of the matter is if you don't follow the word of God, everything else is a lie. If you don't follow that word of God, if you don't accept the Lord Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, if you don't believe that he was born of a virgin, that he died on the cross and rose again in 3 days, if you don't believe that, then you gonna find out that hell is real. But here's the thing: it's almost like they wanting to portray, these liberals and these far out leftists is wanting to portray God as this evil, angry person who all he wants to do is send people to hell. Listen, if God's wish could be done, nobody would go to hell. He don't want to send anybody to hell. But you send yourself because you choose not to serve him and not to serve his will. You want to serve yourself. You want to serve the world. You want the pleasures of the world. You want to say it's okay if I want to believe this or do whatever. It boils down to the old saying, you want your cake and you want to eat it too. But you see, it can't happen because the Bible says that God is a God of love, but it also says that he is a true and just God. And at the end, one of these days, there's going to be a book called the Book of Life. And it's going to be just as simple. They're going to open that book and they're going to look down there. And if they don't see your name, you're going downstairs. And it's just that simple. But he didn't send you. You sent yourself. That's the way that works.
Well, here's something else about the Pope. Y'all got to understand what the Pope's a communist. The Pope is he's a card carrying communist. And any of you Catholics out there that want to argue with me about that, be glad to talk to you about it. He is a communist. He associates with atheists. He has he listens to them. He brings them into his circle. So that's who you're dealing with. You're dealing with another one. He has no moral compass. He has no moral compass. The Pope does. If I was a Catholic, I'd quit. I'd quit the Catholic Church. If that's the best I could do, I'd quit. I just wouldn't be nothing. If that's all I could be, the Pope gonna tell me what to do.
No. It just really shocked me to read that article that the ordained head of the Catholic Church would make that statement. You know, that tells how far the Catholic Church, the Catholic Church has always been really pretty conservative in terms of doctrine. But man, it has.
Well, look at who's. I'm gonna give you an example of two so-called self-proclaimed Catholics.
Go ahead.
Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden.
That's all I need to know.
That's all you need to know.
They Catholics.
Self-proclaimed Catholics.
Hey,
I'm glad I'm a freewheeler.
Yeah,
Marvin, you the timekeeper. We're running out of time here.
Well, we got plenty of time.
What a time to a hog.
that's what it's time to a hog. We good. They told us. They said they extended our credit a little bit.
Oh, right.
Speaking of that, I want to show you this. This is a picture sent in by Mr. Wayne Garney, and I got a text from here, and here's what it says verbatim. Good evening. Can't talk tonight. Down in a hole running sewer pipe. No fish trying to pay all the bills this week.
Amen. That's
That
him.
is
Now I
That's it. That's Kenny Wayne. That's him. But hey, he took that picture right there. He knows what that means,
yeah.
don't he?
that to me,
Charlie, tell them about Wayne Garney at KWG Plumbing.
Oh man, he's one of the best there is. Hey, he's professional in every way. He'll help you if he can. He's no job too big, no job too small. KWG Plumbing, right here in Colquitt, Georgia. A local guy, his family. He's a family man. He loves to fish and he loves to hunt and he loves to take his youngins fishing and hunting. Now you don't it don't get no better than that. But y'all KWG Plumbing, give him a shout out. Give him a call right there. That's his cell phone number. He'll talk to you. He'll help you any way he can. He'll try to solve your problem. Commercial, industrial, residential plumbing. He's licensed. He's a master plumber in Georgia and Alabama. He can help you out. If you're in a tight spot, Mr. Kenneth Wayne Garney can help you out. And here's the deal. Here's his motto. If you ain't flowing, he'll get you going. KWG Plumbing, Colquitt, Georgia.
Guys, we want to give a big shout out to our sponsor in perpetuity and exclusivity of Floyd's list of impossibilities, none other than Mr. T.C. Berryhill himself, world famous auctioneer, Berryhill Auctioneers. Look him up on the web. Man, they're all over. He does a lot of online auctions. A good man running a good business, and he is our friend, and we're proud to call him that. Mr. T.C. Berryhill, Berryhill Auctioneers.
Hey man, ain't no better. He created a business, he created a niche market, and he's done well with it. I'm proud to call him my friend. Floyd list of impossibility. It's an impossibility that any person on earth can lie as often and as smoothly as the White House spokesman John Kirby. Y'all know who I'm talking about? That guy that comes on there. He can lie. He can lie this smooth. If I had enough money to pay, if I really needed somebody to lie for me, and I had enough money, I'd pay that man to do it right there. Because he's Joe Biden's spokesperson, John Kirby. Impossibility that anyone on earth can be more loved, more hated, more feared, and more respected than Donald J. Trump. Never seen nobody like him in my life. Never seen nobody with the tenacity that one man has got right there. And he ain't fighting for Donald Trump.
mm,
He ain't doing that. He ain't sacrificing for Donald. He's sacrificing for folks like us. Because he represents us. Represents me. I ain't gonna speak for none of these others on here, but he represents me. Here's a big impossibility for y'all. Impossibility that Nancy Pelosi that, that Nancy Pelosi has ever used a porta potty. I'd like to see her. I'd like to see her in one at an equipment auction in about the middle of July. I'd like to see her get in a tight spot and have to go in there. You talk about the old gal sitting in on the meat case there. It was you ever seen that? Like you come out one of them porta potties at a farm equipment auction in the middle of July, late. Impossibility that the illegal aliens that have invaded the United States of America, impossibility that any of them would stay here if their welfare money, their free medical bills, their free housing, their free food, and their free cell phones were all suddenly stopped. They would self-deport. That's the only way to do it. That's the only way to handle this illegal alien deal. Cut off all of the government stuff and you get a free plane ticket home one way. And give them a plane ticket and they would self-deport. It's simple, but oh no, we got to have comprehensive immigration reform. Comprehensive. Comprehensive is a dangerous word if you are a Republican dealing with a Democrat. Impossibility that anything can be more stupid looking than a white woman with a nose ring. I know y'all ain't probably never have seen that before, have you? I wonder what they do with it. Snot used to running out of your nose. You know, snot runs out of everybody's nose. It does. I mean, it's a normal body function. You know, if you got sinuses or allergies or anything, how you handle that? What do you do?
Are you aware, Floyd, that they pierce any and every body part of men?
Everything. If it's on you, they'll pierce it. They'll stick a hole in it and stick a ring through it.
Wait a minute. Now say again.
I knew that.
Whatever.
Any and every body part.
Any, don't matter. None of them is exempt from the piercing needle.
Or the tattoo needle.
Or the tattoo needle. They tattoo anything. They don't care.
That's a little more than I want to know right there.
It's a lot of information. So
Let me throw this one out. Here we go. One for you. A list of impossibility that Floyd B. Lloyd will ever have a body piercing or a tattoo on his body.
Oh, a tattoo. I've made it this far without a tattoo or a body piercing. Now I got an artificial shoulder, but I ain't got no body piercing. But see, the artificial shoulder has no function. You know what I'm saying?
But if you could have one, if they could pierce any part of your body, what would you let them pierce?
Nothing. I don't have that part. I was born without that part.
See that?
It was right. The impossibility that Hunter Biden is qualified to be anything higher than a dishwasher at a Waffle House restaurant. Impossibility that Joe Biden has the intellect to zip up his britches. It will change lanes with you. Impossibility that Bill Clinton has the fortitude to keep his britches on.
That's a good one.
You met me now, Floyd.
Yeah, I'm on the road. Impossibility that Hillary Clinton has seen Bill Clinton with his britches off in the last 30 years.
So are you saying that one of the most used things in America is Bill Clinton's zipper?
Zipper, that's it. That's hot, baby. That's hot. He keeps it. Impossibility that any woman other than his mother has ever seen Pete Buttigieg with his britches off.
Wait, I gotta hear that one more time. What was that now?
Impossibility that any woman other than his mother has seen Pete Buttigieg with his britches off. A woman.
Woo.
Oh, Pete. Whew. Oh, Lord. Impossibility that anything other than a white woman with a nose ring could be more stupid looking than Hillary Clinton wearing a Maxine Waters wig. Impossibility that Joe Biden can go 8 hours without having a bowel evacuation in his Depends. What you think?
Only you.
Yeah, amen.
Only you.
I gotta say something right here. Kelly's crop insurance over in Colquitt, Georgia, the folks you need to sit down and talk to right now. Wouldn't you say, Floyd? Now's the time to do it.
Time running out.
Time's running out, so get over there and do it. Now, we all talk about Marvin sometime not having the control panel just exactly like it ought to be. He ain't got it like it ought to be on this weather forecast. He was dealing with Atlanta weather, the Weather Channel in Atlanta. The country of Atlanta don't know about down here. So I'm going to give you the weather forecast for halfway between here and Colquitt, Georgia. We're going to be 6 miles north of Columbia. That's a pretty good area to talk about. 50% chance of rain during the night tonight, mostly clear through mid-morning, gradual clearing with a steady temperature around 51. But listen to this. Tomorrow night, mostly clear, low 24. 24 with winds bringing the wind chill values down to about 14 degrees. Saturday is going to be a cold, blustery day. Sunny, but a high of only 43 degrees. And wind chill values again down about 13. And then Sunday morning, you're going to wake up anywhere from 19 to 22 degrees. So, folks, the drill is back on. What we did earlier this week, got to do it one more time this weekend for Saturday morning, Sunday morning, and then by Monday morning, we're only down to about 28 degrees. A warming trend, as you can see, rain coming in Tuesday through Thursday, with temperatures by Thursday back up to 73 degrees.
Good Lord.
I always said it on the morning show. If you don't like the weather in the tri-state wiregrass area, stay around 24 hours. It might change to what you want. It's just that's the way it is. Thank y'all for watching. We appreciate y'all very much joining us for these four rednecks with class, having a good time on Thursday night. Pray for this nation. It needs it. Queasel?
Thank you, Charlie. Hey, it's been good to be with y'all tonight. I'm ready for some warm weather. I done had enough of this cold, and they're talking about more coming. I don't like cold weather. I'm allergic to it. I don't like it. I like it when it's about 70 to 80 degrees, somewhere along in there. That's my kind of weather, but it'll be here. We just need to hang on. It's a coming. So y'all folks that like cold weather, y'all to be happy. Y'all to be happy coming up. Last 2 or 3 nights, y'all have been happy. Y'all to be happy on next 2 or 3 coming up. It's gonna be cold. Look after your animals. Don't forget about your animals. Look after them, and make sure that they looked after. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. We need to be thankful. We need to be thankful we all got a warm bed to sleep in and something like that, because there's a lot of people that ain't. A lot of people that ain't. You might be sitting there tonight feeling sorry for yourself and feeling all this kind of stuff. Listen, we are so blessed. God's been so good to us. I know to the 4 of us he has, and to most everybody else out there that's listening and watching this show, we just need to be thankful. Floyd's going to mention that to y'all here in just a minute. Don't forget who made all this stuff possible. We love you. We appreciate you. If we hope that we didn't offend nobody tonight, but if we did, we intended on it. So we ain't changing who we are for nobody. We gonna keep telling the truth, and because I can't speak for the 3 of them, but I can speak for me. In my opinion, what's wrong with the world today is nobody is telling the truth. Everybody's dressing it up and dodging and beating around the bush. And I'd rather just chop the bush down and keep on going. You ain't gonna get nowhere beating around it. We love y'all. Thank y'all for being with us. Floyd?
Yes, sir. Thank you, buddy. If y'all got any old folks in your family or friends or anything that's by themselves, call them and check on them. I mean, don't wait till in the morning. Call them and check on them tonight before they go to bed. Just check on them. And if you got any old folks in your life or anybody that you really love, that you're thinking about, just call them and tell them, because you don't never know. I'm getting heavy. I'm getting deep with you, but old folks, because I'm getting into that generation. Old folks, it don't take much to make old folks happy, and but if you'll and I want if I will, if you will, I was in a place of business the other day, and I engaged this lady that worked there, and I always speak to her every time I'm in there. I speak to her. Hey, how you doing? Doing fine. She said, one of your fans is right back there around that corner back there, and it was her daughter, and I went back there, and it's about a 13, 14-year-old young girl back there. And I spoke to that girl, and she made my day. She lit up and she went to smiling from ear to ear. And she told me, she said, I watch y'all every Thursday night. So y'all make me laugh. Y'all make me feel good. And I came home. I told Marvin about it. I talked. Me and Marvin had a conversation on the telephone about it. But that young lady, that she made my day.
Mm-hmm.
She made my day. She made me feel good. So don't ever miss the opportunity to interact with people and 'cause everybody in this that we know, everybody that we engage on a day-to-day basis, they're important.
Mm.
And that's why I'm mentioning about calling the old folks. Call the old folks, check on them, see how they're doing, and just tell them, say, I'm thinking about you. Is there anything I can do for you? That's my sermon. I mean, that's all I can say. But here, I'm gonna go on with what I always say: exercise your Second Amendment rights. Surround yourself with like-minded people. Be vigilant of your surroundings, and when you lay down and go to sleep tonight, you lay down and put your head on that pillow, and like what Quee's talking about, a good warm bed, good roof over your head, soft bed, clean sheets. You start thanking the good Lord above for what all He's done for you today, and you'll go to sleep and you'll still be thankful. Appreciate y'all watching us. We love y'all. We thank y'all. We couldn't do it without y'all. We have a good time. We hope y'all have a good time. We'll see you next time.
Guys, thank y'all again. We appreciate you inviting us in tonight. Y'all are special to us. You're our people, and we love you, each and every one of you. And thank you for spending time with us each and every Thursday night. You know what I'm going to tell you. Sunday's coming. Go to church, worship the Lord, give him his due. Our scripture tonight comes from Isaiah 26:3. You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast because they trust in you. We need to trust in the word of the Lord, and we need to trust in him. Look up to the Lord. Trust in him. Don't trust in your circumstances. Trust in the Lord and his goodness for you. Hey guys, it's going to be cold. Keep warm. Keep loving people. Keep doing something good for somebody else. Hey, it doesn't cost a whole lot to do something good for somebody every now and then. It's the unselfish acts in our life that mean the most and describe the character of those who we are. We love you. Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. We'll be right back here next week, same place, same time, for more Charlie Platt and the Dirt Road Sports Show. But until then, until we meet again, always be particular. Good night.
See.
Good.
See